The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again, another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London, exactly 11 a.m. That's 12 midnight, right? 10 a.m. in Israel, and it's 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. And we welcome you back for another edition of Talk Back Live. And we're going to be with you for the entire hour with a lot of conversation, fun, and all kinds of things that you may want to talk about. We're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. And of course, doesn't matter where we are. You could still join us anywhere you are. We're all around the world. We're global. And anywhere you go around the world, we're right there. You could be in, of course, Wisconsin, I don't know, Nebraska, New York City, all kinds of places, even the Gulf of Mexico. You could be here as well, okay? And you can check us out wherever you are. All you have to do is have some great Wi-Fi and, of course, look, Wi-Fi and what's the other thing I always talk about, all right? It's the Wi-Fi and the hotspot. That's where I'm going. But as long as you have that, you can watch us anywhere around the world. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. And we also encourage you to tell your family and friends to make sure that they're along with us. We would love them aboard. And we'll get along very well. Just stay with us and we'll have a whole lot of fun. Now, in this show, first of all, we want to thank all of the people who've been with us all of these years. We thank you so much for that. We couldn't thank you enough. And while we're at it, we want to also chat with the people who may be possibly new to the show and may be here for the very first time. So let me tell you how we operate. As the host of the show, that's me, right? We're going to get things rolling. And this is what I call the warm-up period or the prep period. I start prepping, and at any time, even right now, as you watch us, you can chime in as long as you have your keyboard on your computer, your telephone, and your pad, and of course your tablet as well. Just type in whatever you want to talk about. I will see you right there on the big screen. I will acknowledge you, and of course, that's what the show is all about. Free exchange of opinions and ideas, and we have them all. I have them, you have them, and we'd like to know more about you. We want to get to know all about you as well as you get to know all about us. Stay with us because, you can chat with other people who come in as well. When they come in, you can talk to them, not just me, you can talk to them as well. That's the whole thing, the beauty of this show is that not only talking to the host of the show, but talking to other people, exchange your ideas and opinions. As long as you're already nice about it, we don't care what it is. And if you have anything in particular that you want to relay or convey to us and you want us to put it out there, we would love it. If it's something, a topic that's interest to all of us, we will put it out there. And of course, we will entertain it as well. So that's what we want you to do. Stay with us. Now, again, for you first time people, if you're watching, particularly if you're watching us on Facebook, we want you to take the time right now you can tag this show, this very show that you're watching right now, you can tag it to your friends. How many friends? That's up to you. As many as you want. As a matter of fact, we encourage you because the more the merrier. If they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they'll come back again and again, just like you, right? So we want you to do that. Tag them because when they see that tag, they know it's coming from you and they trust you, I would assume. And all they have to do is just click onto that tag. And they don't have to do anything else because it'll bump them right here where you are. So we look forward to seeing them. So tell them about it. Take time right now to do that. It just only takes a second to do that, right? For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you guys to go onto my YouTube channel if you're there right now. Of course, take the time right now as we speak and click on to where it says subscribe. Now, all you have to do is just drag your mouse over there, right? Point the arrow where it says subscribe. It's in black border, white lettering, subscribe. Click onto it, and that's all it takes. Now, just before you get all crazy about it, there's nothing involved, no money, nothing is involved. It's just a matter of just being part of it. It's free click. It's a free click, and you get the chance to know who we are. And of course, when you do that, that gives us a chance to know how many people are out there with us and how many as a member, you know, to get there. Now, just because you don't click on it doesn't make you a member, because all are welcome here. Well, we would love you to click on to be part of our YouTube channel. Now, the other reason why we want you to do that is because of the fact that now, from here on in, now that you clicked onto it, you did, right? Now that you clicked onto it, it gives you a chance now to know whenever we come on live, you'll get that instant notification. Just in case you happen to be out there at some point when the next show comes along and you're out there and you're doing something else or whatever it is and you forgot all about the show, well, you get an instant notification as a reminder that it's right there. Now, even if we so much as post a video or a still photo or anything, any activity that goes on in the room, or as we refer to as our channel, you'll get instant notification. And all you have to do is just click onto it and boom, it's right there. So we want you to stay with us. Now, if all of you guys are on Instagram, you don't have to do much. The only thing that you have to do is just keep the word percolating through your community, with your family, friends, relatives, and everyone else that's involved. Get them to know us. And because you're a dedicated viewer on a particular platform like Facebook or Instagram, I still want you to get acquainted with my YouTube channel anyway, okay? It's okay. You can watch any way you like, from any platform you like. It doesn't matter. But please get a chance to go to our YouTube page and get a chance and look at it. Look at it there, too. You know, the remarkable thing about YouTube is that you get a chance to see some of the photos that we have there posted and a lot of things. All right. So get acquainted with that and be a member. And even if you, let's say, for instance, even if your favorite platform is something else other than YouTube, subscribe to YouTube anyway. We would really appreciate that. We really would. Because the more that we have you out there, the better it all is. Okay. Okay. Now we do also other things other than in conjunction with interacting with you here live. We also, have our little thing that we do. We have a regular thing that we do. Now, for instance, in just a few minutes from now, within this particular half hour, just minutes from now, we're going to call on Brian Camp. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's our sports guy, and he's going to come along and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. The name of his show is called Sports Update. He's got a lot to talk about. March Madness is still here, so we got the games going on. The Yankees played today. Oh, you know something? I didn't get a chance to see it. I was into so many things, but when I get off the air, I have to find out what my boys were doing today for the first day. Or I'm pretty sure if you're out there and you happen to know better, let me know if you know whether or not the Yankees won or not and how they did. I'm hoping they give me a chance to not get angry with them, because boy, they raised my blood pressure last season in the World Series. The Dodgers beat them when they could have easily, if they were going to get beaten, they could have took it home from Los Angeles, you know, and not be beaten in Yankee Stadium. But then that's water under the bridge, and there's nothing we can do about it now except just to say we'll root for you this year, and hopefully we'll get back to where the position was last year, and this time take all of the goods. Okay. Anyway, all of that's coming up in sports, and he'll be along with that. Also later on in the program, not too far away too, we have This Day in History. Now here we are. It's March 27th, almost at the end of the month. And this day in history, something happened on this day, March 27th, way back when. We're going to find out what that is, because I have a laundry list of all of those things that happened on this day in history. So I have that. Also, movies for you guys. Weekend is coming up. You're going to be doing a lot of things. And I know you can't wait to the weekend. We're already in the spring mode already. And when summertime comes along, you'll be doing all of those summertime activities. I know you will. And I'm going to be doing them with you as well. I will. But coming this weekend, whatever you're doing, good. But one of the things that you may want to set aside to do is catch up on some movies that you haven't seen in a while. Well, that's where I come into, all right? Because I always keep abreast of what's happening on Turner Classic Movies for the weekend. And I have my picks of the week for your weekend to add to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend as far as your movies are concerned. You know, you get out the popcorn, you pop them up, and your hot dogs or whatever it is, and you sit back and have your favorite beverage and sit back and watch a nice movie. Well, I'm going to add to your bucket list later on. So all of that is coming up, and all of that is coming up in this hour, this one little hour that we have, and it's all right here on Talk Back Live. I want to say hello to Mary out there. Mary out there in Brooklyn, New York, joined us this morning. Don't raise that blood pressure. I won't. No, you know, you're right, Mary. Blood pressure went sky high. I was so involved. That's how involved I was that time. And I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to get my blood pressure raised. So thank you, Mary, for that. But good evening to you. Thank you for being along with us. Stay with us for the balance of the show and get in on the conversation as well. Okay? And it is March. And as I said, March is coming to a stop, coming to a halt pretty soon. It's already 27. I can't believe it. How it just only seemed like we just started the brand new year in January. And here we are in March. And April is coming up, you know, just in a few days. As a matter of fact, when we meet back here next week, it will be the very first week of April. All right, that's when we get started. So all of that is coming up, and we'll see what we got going. But we're looking forward to the summer months, and of course, if you're a New Yorker, there's a lot of places you're going to be hanging out. I know. I may run into you, you know, like in Coney Island, someplace, or at the beach, or whatever. You know, because back in the day, we used to do that a lot. The big attraction was Coney Island in the summertime, but you know something, prices were very low at that time. A hot dog was only 10 cents, as I remember it back then. 10 cents for a hot dog or a knish. 10 cents, right? What's a hot dog today? $2? I don't know. And it always seems like when you buy something, let's say a bag of potato chips, for instance, right? If you buy, let's say, a bag of potato chips, and I remember a bag of potato chips used to cost you 5 cents. One of those small bags used to cost you 5 cents back in those days, back in the 1950s, growing up as a kid. I think they still sell those small bags, but they're a little more than what they were before. But the larger bags now, you know, depending on where you go, you might get a good price on them. I don't know. But potato chips have gone up, and they used to have those huge bags, and it seems like the bags are shrinking, and the contents of the package is shrinking as well. So if you already noticed, when you open your bag of potato chips, you don't have to seal it anymore. All you have to do is squeeze it, and it'll pop. But be very, very careful when you squeeze it, because if you squeeze the bottom, then your chips are gone. Anyway, I guess just to make conversation, I don't know. Do I Jiffy Pop popcorn? Oh, no. Mary, I don't know if they still sell Jiffy Pop popcorn anymore. They may. I mean, I guess if they could sell kernel corn in a bag, I guess there's still hope for Jiffy Pop popcorn. But most people I know these days are doing it in the microwave, because it's no mess. It's in a bag, and all you have to do is just open it and pour it into a bowl or something, or eat it right out of the bag, you know. But, you know, Jiffy Pop popcorn, you have to wait. You have to put it on the stove, and you do that, right? Just pop, and then the aluminum foil comes up and bubbles, and then there you go. If they do sell Jiffy Pop popcorn, you know something, that's a good question, Mary. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I'm going to look for a Jiffy Pop popcorn and see if they have it. You know, I'm going to see if they have it, if they still have it. But most people do it in a microwave these days. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, as I said, I'm going to be with you for the remaining of the hour. We're already a little bit after 14 minutes into the show already. And we want you to stay with us. Tell your friends about us and get them to get involved in the show as well. And of course, as I said, if you're new, of course, that doesn't make you any less important than someone who's been with us for a very long time. You're just as important. And you are a person of quality. And we love that in you. And we love to keep you around. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Larry Timmerland, a founding member and singer of the pioneering garage rock group, The Standards, died. Timberland was born February 5th, 1943 in Los Angeles to father Eddie Timberland, an actor with several dozen credits in Hollywood films of the 1930s, and his mother, Sally Triplett. His brother, Russ Timberland, who followed in his father's footsteps, earned even a greater heights in the industry, earning an Oscar-nominated role for Rick in West Side Story. And also he appeared in Twin Peaks. Larry Timberland was 82 years old. Let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. What do you say we do that, right? How's that? Can we do that? Yeah, let's go over to Charlotte, North Carolina. And because Brian Camp is right there waiting for us because he has the latest developments in today's world of sports. And I must mention, if you have any questions sports related, this is the time to get it together and make sure that they're all in shape, all ready to go, and ask away because he's right here right now with the latest developments in today's world of sports. And there he is. Final four.
Not just quite yet. Major League Baseball is back in form. My San Francisco Giants won. I am happy. We're back on the right track. My San Francisco Giants are winning. They won today, and we're ready for our next game.
By the way, do you know whether or not I didn't check? I know the Yankees played today. Did you? What was the finals? Or did you check the final score, or you just don't care?
Yankees won, but that's not important though. Yankees won, and we're not here to talk about the Yankees. We're talking about my San Francisco Giants and the other baseball game. Yes, I watched a glimpse of the New York Yankees game today. They came on this afternoon. And yes, it is opening day, even though opening day started last week in Japan. We got another one coming up tomorrow because the Tampa Bay Rays are now going to be having their home games at George Steinbrenner Field because of the hurricane that occurred past September. So their stadium is like under reconstruction. But baseball's here. It finally is here. As the NBA start moving down closer towards the playoffs, and Final Four is still in effect. It started last week. There are games on now. Don't touch that channel. We're gonna stay right here until it's over. So we're gonna really get that. We're gonna have a fabulous weekend when I tell you. Trust me when I say this here. Okay. But we got to talk about all sports. We're going to talk about from every sport that we usually talk about. The NFL draft is coming up on Thursday, April 24th to the 26th, at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Where else would it be? Yes. So check your drafting and check your teams to see who they're going to draft or may want to draft. Maybe some trades involved. So it's going to be heavy, real heavy. Like I said, opening day is upon us. And also, let's talk about the Major League. Major League Baseball teams won 52.2% on their balls and strike challenges. Now, this is a new thing that they instituted for spring training. And the umpires and the catchers had markedly better success rate, a better rate than the pitchers. Now, Major League Baseball says that the 617 out of 1,182 challenges was successful in the 288 exhibition games during preseason. by using the automated ball strike system. That means you could dispute a strike on a ball. How's that going to work? I don't know. Me personally, I don't think it should, because it's going to delay the game even more. It's going to delay the game even more. Major League Baseball, I understand you're trying, but you're getting desperate now. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's bad enough you just made rules and changes a couple of years ago. Just leave it alone, okay? Just leave it alone. In the NBA informed teams that that intends the salary cap to increase. You're going to have increased 10% for the 2026 season. Now, the growth of the salary cap next season is the maximum allowed and aligns with the projections of the NBA sent teams last June. Now, the league said that the salary cap is projected to be approximately $154.6 million, and the luxury tax is projected to be $418.7 million. So yeah, it's increasing. You can sign more players, and you'll be fine. You know. So we're just going to just wait and see what's going to happen, how teams are going to use their money. The owners are going to have the owners always win. The owners get paid lovely. They get paid lovely. They got these here cable deals. They got the TV deals. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. As I said, Final Four is here. It is here. And you're going to watch the games tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's right. The women's is going to they're going to cap it off on Monday night. So yes, we're gonna have a lot of sports. This day in sports, March 27th in 1931, John McGraw says night baseball will not catch on. He said that in 1931. Well, John McGraw, may you rest in peace. Let me tell you something. That's where the money is coming in. Prime time. That's where night baseball is coming. They got the World Series. So you said this back in 1931. You didn't think it was going to happen, but guess what? It's happening, and it's been very successful. 1939, the first NCAA men's basketball championship, Oregon defeat Ohio State. 1971, the UCLA Bruins defeated Villanova 68-62. That was UCLA's fifth consecutive title. 1991, the NCAA bans the University of Minnesota football team from postseason due to academics. You gotta get your grades up. Come on, you gotta get your grades up. You don't get your grades up, guess what? They ban the whole program. Get those grades up. 1998, the Bulls and Hawks match up at the Georgia Dome with 62,046 fans. That's an all-time record. Birthdays. Happy birthday to the late Mike Curtis, who was born in 1943, NFL linebacker for the Colts, who was born in Rockville, Maryland, 1963. Ed Pinckney, NBA forward for the 76ers, was born in the Bronx, New York, in the Boogie Down Bronx, as they say, 1963, same year. Randall Cunningham, NFL quarterback, Hall of Fame, was born in Santa Barbara, California. And happy birthday to my former catcher, who was born in 1987, Buster Posey. He was a Major League Baseball catcher, three-time World Series, National League Rookie of the Year, was born in Leesburg, Georgia. And yeah, that's it. But sad note in sports, we're gonna have to talk about this. Former heavyweight champion George Foreman passed away. Didn't say what he passed away from, but he was a boxing great. He passed away last week. It's something about Fridays. When we get off the coffee hour, is always somebody passing away. He passed away at the age of 76. Foreman was the 1968 Olympic gold medalist, heavyweight division in 1968 in Mexico City. After turning pro, Foreman became the world heavyweight champion in 1973 when he knocked out Smoking Joe Frazier. After defending his title 2 times, Foreman had been defeated by the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, in 1974 with the famous Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, Africa. After his retirement in 1977, Foreman became an ordained Christian minister. And then while he became a minister, after 10 years later, Foreman announced he was returning to the ring. And in 1994, at the age of 45 years old, won the unified WBA, IBF, and lineal heavyweight championship. Foreman was also inducted into the International Hall of Fame. Foreman also gained another source of fame when he became an entrepreneur and known for his promotion to the George Foreman Grill. I have one of those, and I use it. In fact, I used it a couple of days ago in his memory. I still use it, whether he had passed or not. I still use it for my sandwiches. Was sold more than 100 million units worldwide by 2011. And in 1999, he sold the commercial rights to the grill for a whopping $138 million. George Foreman, thank you for the memories. May you continue to rest in peace, and let's keep his family in prayers. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a 62 degrees out here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
I had two George Foreman grills. I had two of them. One was real small, and the other one was like regular size. But as it went on, as he got more advanced, the grills got more advanced too, you know. But they were good grills. I used to bake my burgers on there a lot.
Oh yeah, I use a cold because I like to have a turkey and cheese, just butter on top of it, just smash it down.
Yeah,
good grilled cheese sandwiches too. Yes,
yeah. And they still sell them. You can still buy them.
Yeah, but I think sold it. But I think they still keep the name of the George Foreman. That was part of the agreement. I think I gotta make sure that's correct. But it'll always be the George Foreman Grill.
Yeah, well, they had his signature on the grill. His signature, at least the grill that I bought. I remember one time they had his signature on it. But in print, of course, you know. But yeah, that was a great. I used to love it. I used to love to bake my burgers. Came out nice, and it was good. It did exactly what it was supposed to do: drain the fat out of the meat.
That's right.
Dripped right into that little pan.
That right? Little plastic pan, yeah.
Yeah, and you had less fat in your diet.
That's right. So,
and you know something, George Foreman wasn't, when he was boxing and his boxing years, he didn't have a loud mouth. He didn't say much.
No, he just hit hard. That's all.
Yeah, but you know, the story be told, Muhammad Ali secretly was afraid of him.
Yeah, because he hit hard, and yeah, his team worried about the fight, about him staying away from the fight, but yeah, he loves challenges, and he just knocked him out in that 8th round.
Yeah, and he was more afraid of George Foreman than he was Sonny Liston, as they call him, the Bear. Right. Sonny Liston, the Bear, you know. But but those guys hit hard. George Foreman, Sonny Liston, those guys, they were boxers. They hit hard.
They sure did, yeah.
And I think the last of them all, I don't follow boxing like I did before, especially when Muhammad Ali passed away, when he retired. I didn't get into much boxing, but I think the last of the greats was can I say?
Ken Norton.
Well, you know, Ken Norton, yeah, but he retired long before. I'm talking about
George Foreman, Joe Frazier, you know.
Mike Tyson, I think, was like
the
last of. I think that's when boxing, you know, for the young people, you know, after Muhammad Ali was gone, it was over for me, you know. But I think when Tyson was gone, I think that kind of like it was the end of it. I mean, now you have a guy that beat Tyson, but beat Tyson in his late years was Logan. What was his name? Jacob.
Yeah. I forget his first name. Yeah, that was this early, the latter part of last year.
Yeah. And you can still see that fight. If you go on Netflix, you can still see it. You can still watch it, you know. But that was a fight, and they asked whether or not Tyson would he come back and do another one. He said he may. Tyson is how old now? 50? What?
He's close to 60, but when that money pops in, yeah, you'll fight too. I'll fight too. Especially
Changes your,
if going on in the government,
yeah,
I'll take a payday.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But you're right. When George Foreman came back out of retirement, he was 45 years old. I think that was the oldest a boxer ever fought. But up until Mike Tyson, when he came out and fought Logan.
yeah.
But I don't know. So what does it look like for the rest of the weekend?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, good.
Of course, but
Uh-huh.
we watch the show, and exactly at 9 o'clock here,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna watch our games. Not
Yeah,
only Final Four, these college basketball games, the NBA games too, as well.
yeah, yeah. But those college games, man, and I was watching some of the games and for March Madness, right? The college games, has it always been this way? They only do 2 quarters.
For the women, they do 4
No,
quarters.
they did something for the men. Some of the men games.
They do
They only
2 halves. 2 halves. The first half is 20 minutes. The second half is 20 minutes.
yeah, right.
But the women is 40 minutes too, but they're broken up into 4 quarters. 10 minutes,
Oh,
10 minutes a quarter for the women.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have a feeling somewhere along the line they're going to want to change that because they want to compete with the guys. They got the strength enough to do it, But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at your usual time, right?
10:20. Everybody enjoy your night. Don't touch that dial until 9 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care. Okay. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Thank you, Brian, for being along with us. As you already heard, Brian will be back with us tomorrow morning on the coffee hour. I will tell you more about the coffee hour later, and he will be with us with the latest developments in today's world of sports. A lot of things happening. And I am so glad that the New York Yankees won. Brian didn't want to talk about the Yankees. He wanted to talk about the Giants. Now, how can I argue with him? It's his show. I mean, he's doing the sports. He can talk about anything he wants. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. But listen, now I can do something about it because now I can talk about the Yankees. I just want the Yankees, the New York Yankees, anybody from the New York Yankees watching or anybody from the New York Yankee organization, please don't put me what you put me through last year. In the World Series, he damn near killed me. I'm going to tell you, I was so much into that World Series game. And I said, okay, the Yankees look like if they could pull this last game off in New York, and if they're going to lose the World Series, go to Los Angeles and lose the damn game. You lose the damn game, not in front of your fans in New York. What did they do? They lost. And I got to tell you, I was so much into that game that night. I was pouring down sweating. I have never felt so. Your body ever gotten so tense where it starts to hurt? I mean, you could actually feel your blood pressure going on, and then you start turning red. Well, for me, it's hard. It's hard for me to turn red, but you get the idea, right? But the sweat's coming down, and I hope they don't take me through that this year. I'm gonna calm down because the doctor said we don't want this to happen to you. Calm down, take it easy, all right? Get that blood pressure down. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to the doctor because he's right about that. The Yankees don't do that to me this year. Don't do it, because if you do it this year, I'm through. Not really through with you guys, but just gonna be through. Anyway, just in case you're just watching us, you're just joining in, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. We're talking back live, all of us together, you, me, and we want you to stay with us for the rest of the show. We got a lot of things to talk about, and you could talk too with us. You're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. That's where we like to have you, right with us, okay? All right, I think it's about that time, don't you think? It's about that time to go back in time, and back in time on this day in history. And on this day in history, in 1866, U.S. President Andrew Johnson votes civil rights bills, later become the 14th Amendment. On this day in history, 1928, KGB, KGB-AM. You're not making, I can't make this up. It's a station called KGB-AM in San Diego, California. It begins broadcasting. I wonder what's on that. I wonder what they were playing on KGB. On this day in history, in 1930, the first U.S. radio broadcast from a ship at sea. On this day in history, 1936, WOSAM in Jefferson City, Missouri goes off the air. On this day in history, 1943, Blue Ribbon Town, that's the Groucho Marx movie, is first heard on CBS Radio. That's a play on CBS Radio. I said movie, but CBS Radio. On this day in history, 1948, just 11 days after being released from prison, jazz singer Billie Holiday plays in front of a sold-out crowd at Carnegie Hall in New York. On this day in history, 1950, jazz pianist Earl Gardner performs a solo recital at Cleveland Music Hall, a venue for traditionally classical concerts in Cleveland, Ohio. On this day in history, 1951, Frank Sinatra records I'm a Fool to Want You. He also composed that. On this day in history, 1952, Singing in the Rain, the musical comedy film starring Gene Kelly and Debbie Reynolds, premieres at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. On this day in history, 1952, Sun Records of Memphis begins releasing records. On this day in history, 1955, the 9th Tony Award goes to The Desperate Hours and The Pajama Game. On this day in history, 1957, the 29th Academy Awards around the world in 80 days goes to Ingrid Bergman and Yul Brynner. On this day in history, 1958, CBS Labs announces new stereophonic records. I remember that too. On this day in history in 1958, Nikita Khrushchev becomes Soviet premier as well as first secretary of the Communist Party. On this day in history, I don't know what year that was. It's not a year provided. But the film, The Leopard, starring Burt Lancaster, Allan, and Claudia Carnell, premieres in Rome. Back in 1970, Ringo Starr releases his first solo album, Sentimental Journey. Back in 1981, Blizzard of Oz, a debut solo album by Ozzy Osbourne, is released in the United States. In 1981, John Lennon's single, Watching the Wheels, released in the UK. In 1983, Neil Simon, Brighton Beach Memoirs, premieres in New York City. In 1984, Andrew Lloyd Webber and Richard Stilgoes, their rock musical Starlight Express opens at the Apollo Victoria Theatre in London, West End. In 1985, actor Billy Dee Williams receives a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In 1989, the first African-American soap opera, Generations, premieres on NBC TV. In 1992, Columbia Records releases Bruce Springsteen's 9th and 10th album, their studio album, Human Touch and Lucky Town, on the same day. In 2005, TV medical drama, Grey's Anatomy, starring Ellen Pompeo and Sandra Oh, debuts on ABC. In 2006, the United Nations Commission on Human Rights holds its final meeting. In 2012, Danielle Steele's novel, Betrayal, is published. Actress Gloria Swanson was born on this day in 1899 in Chicago, Illinois. She died April 4th, 1983, at the age of 84 years old from a heart ailment. On this day in history, in 1930, actor David Jansen of The Fugitive and Harry O was born in Naponee, Nebraska, and he died in 1980. On this day in history, 1932, blues and soul singer Junior Parker was born in Bobo, Mississippi. He died in 1971. Film director Quentin Tarantino was born on this day in 1963 in Knoxville, Tennessee. He's 62 years old today. Happy birthday. Keep them coming. Singer Mariah Carey was born on this day in 1969 in New York City. She's 56 years old today. Still looking great, too. Singer Fergie was born on this day in 1975 in Hexodie Heights, California. She's 50 years old today. In 1988, actress Brenda Song was born in Carmel. I think that's Carmel, yeah. Carmel, California. And she's 37 years old today. Let's see. Oh, in 1960, actress Gloria Swanson. We just met her. We just talked about her. But anyway, she weds actor Wallace Beerley. In 1954, actress Elizabeth Montgomery, known from Bewitched, marries socialite Frederick Gallatin Common. And in 1979, Eric Clapton weds model Patty Boyd in Tucson, Arizona, and they got divorced in 1989. In 1998, novelist Danielle Steele, talked about her again, but this time she weds financier Thomas James Perkins. In 1991, actor Aldo Ray, who played on The French Connection, dies of cancer at the age of 64 years old. Filmmaker Billy Wilder died on this day in 2002 at the age of 95 years old from pneumonia. He was born June 22nd, 1906, and he was born in Austro-Hungary Empire. Actor, comedian Dudley Moore died on this day in 2002 at the age of 66 years old from pneumonia. He was born April 19th, 1935, and he was born in Hammersmith, London, England. Comedian Milton Berle died on this day in 2002 at the age of 93 years old. He was born July 12th, 1908 in New York City. In 2009, Jack Dreyfus, from American Businessman, he owned the franchise Dreyfus, right? He died on this day, and he was born in 1913. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening so far on this day in history. Now, if you know anything that's happening on this day in history, you in particular, and you would like to tell us about it, maybe I don't know about it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I should know, right? Let us know. Just type it in there. We'll talk about it. And we'll get it on there. But that's what's happening on this day in history. A lot of things happen on this day, March 27th. And here we are, March 27th. Right? I meant to tell you at the top of the show that we are celebrating, since we are in the month of March, we're still celebrating in the month of March, right? And what we're celebrating now is Irish American Heritage Month. Okay, we're not going to forget that. We're not going to close the show until we tell you about that. That's what we're celebrating. We already had St. Patrick's Day that fell on the 17th of this month. Parades and all kinds of festivities are going down. And if you have any kind of information on any Irish festivities around the world in your community, let us know. Type it in there. I'll see it, or you can do it yourself. National Women's History Month is upon us too. And we're celebrating that for the balance of the month too. So many women have done so many great things, pioneers. And you don't have to be a woman, a lady of notoriety. You can be just the average person. And if you know someone like that, that's just average, but did something big in your community, let us know about it. We would like to salute her. Okay? So that's National Women's History Month. Also, it's Red Cross Month, right? We have donated so much money over the years to Red Cross. I mean, it goes back in time long before we were all born. It was right there, and people, supported it all these years. The military people depended on it. So that's what we're celebrating, or we're acknowledging this month. Now, under all of that, we have a National Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month too. So if you happen to fall under that umbrella, you could be the one who could say something about it. You live to tell the story, and you could enlighten people about it. Also, Endometriosis Awareness Month, along with Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. So any of those things that you know about, and you are a person of experience, be the hero and let someone know about it. And just in case, God forbid they fall under that umbrella, you could be one of the people who can give them hope because you lived through it and you lived with it and you fought it and you're here today. So be that person to share your experience about any of these things, cerebral palsy, endometriosis, or multiple sclerosis, any of those things, right? So that's what's happening. And ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to get in touch with me personally, I advise you to do that. You can do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. So what I'll do is I'll give you the email address first, and this way you can get in touch with me and let me know what's happening. Okay. My email address first is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is PROD. That's short for productions. It's very important that you know that because ALLAN is the proper spelling, because if it's spelled different from that, I'll never get your email. All right. So do that. frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Now, telephone number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. You can call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And by golly, we'll get it out there for you, right? We'll tell you more about it, right? And then if you have any questions about this show, or you have any thing that you want to say about the show, you want to critique the show, which we encourage you to do. Would like to know where we stand with you as far as your viewership, or if there's an idea you would think that may be an interest that we should implement in the show. We listen. We're all ears. See, all ears. I'm right here. Right. When I was a kid, they used to hang out all the way like that, elephant ears. Anyway, I can still hear, and I will hear you. And all you have to do is be proactive. Let us know, and we'll do something about it. Okay. So I am going to give you the address one more time. The email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Telephone number, once again, is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900. And extension is 467134. Remember, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. We're so glad you can join us for this edition of Talk Back Live. And as you already know, there's so many things going on, and whatever your input is, we would love for you to let us know what you want to talk about. If you want to add something to the mix of the show, of course, we're already we want you to have. We got people that come in and they talk to us, like Mary out there. And the rest of you too. And you're watching us on Instagram, YouTube, right? Facebook. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? No, what I want to know is who let the information out? Okay, there's been a busy week on Capitol Hill, as you already know. You heard it in the news, and we're fourth day into all of this. You already know. You heard about it with the group chat from Washington, D.C., all of these people. There's a group chat, and this group chat was on this little app. It was one of those unclassified apps. It shouldn't have been on the way. The name of the app was called Signal. Now, Signal is an app that anyone can download. I checked it out myself. It's in your app store. You can check it. I didn't download it. I don't want any part of it. But there is such an app. And of course, all this week, for the balance, starting Tuesday, here we are, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. No, starting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're 4 days into it. And it never ceased to amaze me that each weekend, because I don't watch the news on the weekend. I do not watch the news on the weekend. And I already told you why, because the weekend is all I get, like most of you do. The weekend is all I get. and I want peace and quiet. I want to lay back. I don't want any stress. So I leave the news alone because I know when I come back on Monday and then watch the news, I know I didn't miss anything. And of course, the biggest thing that came on is this new thing it's dominating the news so bad that they don't have the time to talk about anything else. And so this is a situation where Michael Waltz, who is the national secretary advisor in the Trump organization, all right, and they started this chat thing, this group chat, and they accidentally invited someone from the media, a journalist. They invited him, and he had no idea how he got in there. They invited him in, and his name is Jeffrey Goldberg, and he's from The Atlantic. That's one of the publications he works for, The Atlantic. And he got in there, and it became it's big news now. And now the finger is being pointed. It's like a hot potato. It's like everybody's throwing the hot potato. Who did it? Who did it? Who let the dogs out? Who let that information out? Okay, so now they're asking for Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth used to be was formerly an anchor on Fox News. And now he is the Secretary of Defense, which is a very important job in the White House. That's a very important job. This is the guy supposed to be taking care of everything. And yet, everything leaked out. This classified information, all of this sensitive information leaked out about a potential bombing or some kind of planning bombing on Yemen, some kind of bombing. They said what time it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, what planes are going to be up there. Now, God forbid, nothing happened. No one got killed. But God forbid, if there was an airman up there, and all of that news leaked out to one of our enemies, such as Russia, you know, who knows what would have happened? It could have put that airman in danger. It could put this country in danger. And yet, out of all of that, no one is taking responsibility. No one is being accountable for this. No one. Even now, we're 4 days into it, and no one is accountable. And they're calling for the firing of Pete Hegseth. Now, my question, I have to ask this question. I don't mean to be mean, but given this guy's background, I have to ask this question. Where was he? I mean, what was he thinking? Where was he? Was he in a saloon, binging in a saloon or something? I have to ask that question. It's one of the questions because given his background, you know, and this is the guy that's supposed to be taking care of all of us. And he gets out there on the tarmac in the airport or wherever he was, saying that there's nothing leaked, nothing. The felon, the 34-count felon says, his favorite thing is, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. That's his whole vocabulary, ladies and gentlemen. It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax. Nothing to see here, you know. And so you got all of these people. And of course, you know, in conjunction with all that going on, then you had the hearings. And in the hearings, of course, you had Kash Patel, who is in charge of the FBI, right? You had Tulsi Gabbard, who is the National Intelligence Director, and they're being grilled, and there were a few more, but they couldn't even answer basic questions that a 5-year-old child, instead of answering the questions directly, they were dancing around it. They were dancing around the questions. And so they're trying to get to the bottom of this thing. And at least I could say this, at least they should come out and say, hey, you know, we screwed up, guys. We screwed up bad. This never happened before. We screwed up bad. But we've got to fix this. We're going to fix this. And we're going to keep all of you as Americans informed of this because you have the right to know what's going on with this. And we're going to take care of it. It's easy. But the more you lie, the more you spread the gossip, the more you do that, the worse it gets. So I have a feeling this story is going to go on for a long time. But they'd rather not talk about this. They don't want to talk about this. I think what they'd rather talk about is guarding that parking area of cars to find out who's defacing the cars. You know, what do you call those? What's the name of the cars that the owns? I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, we're going to find out, put cameras in the parking lot, and whoever is defacing those cars or keying those cars, we're going to lock them up. We're going to lock them up. They'd rather talk about that. All right. So instead of talking about that, let's talk about this. And let's talk about the possibility of Social Security being smashed and other government organizations. And I don't know if you heard the latest, but they have rehired some of those government workers. And I pray for those government workers. I have family and friends that I know that work for the government who lost their jobs. I'm pretty sure you do too. You know, but that's the latest. And we keep abreast of all of that, and we keep telling you about that. It's a long story. I don't have the time to talk more about it, but we keep everybody informed here on what we do, on what's happening. And so they're calling for the firing of both Michael Waltz and Pete Hegseth. We'll see what happens. But I don't think it's going to happen. You know why? Because they're all, each and every one of them, there are no guardrails. Each and every one of them are above the law. And it was programmed that way. Let me tell you about these movies that are coming up. And I'm going to get started right now because I think you're going to like these movies. These movies add to your bucket list of what to watch for the weekend. They're classic movies. And the first one I have for you is To Have and Have Not, starring Humphrey Bogart, Walter Brennan, and Lauren Bacall. That's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can see that Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. That goes back to 1945. 1957. Now, I love this movie. Great movie. 12 Angry Men, starring Henry Fonda, Lee J. Cobb, and Ed Begley. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So like that. Now, those are the ones I have to Turner Classic Movies. And I have two. Here's another one that I want you to watch. If you have Prime, do you have Prime? Well, here's a movie that you're going to like. This is Tyler Perry's Duplicity. It's called Duplicity. Tyler Perry's Duplicity, starring Kat Graham, Megan Tandy, and Tyler Lepley. Oh, I love this movie. If you have Prime, check it out. It's called Duplicity. Duplicity. But you better if you type it in there, put in Tyler Perry's Duplicity, because there's another movie called Duplicity. All right, but make sure you put Tyler Perry in there. Tyler Perry's Duplicity. It's a great movie. I think you're going to like it. That's a great movie. Also, Brian talked about sports, and he mentioned the fact about Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Joe Frazier. That reminds me to tell you that this weekend I recommend, even though it's been around for a while, but I recommend that you watch this. And this is for a dedication of the death of George Foreman. Watch When We Were Kings, starring Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Joe Frazier. And you can check that out on 3 different platforms: Netflix, Pluto, and Max. Now, if you don't have Netflix or Max, you can watch it free on Pluto, because Pluto is a free app. So you have 3 options. You have the Netflix, Pluto, and Max. Check it out. These movies are great. I think you'll like them. And go to Turner Classic Movies and go down to and scroll down to all of the movies that you may see there. And because there may be movies that I didn't mention. Also, there's a lot of great sporting events, children's programs, documentaries, all the networks are there. And you can check out all of that. They're all great. All right, so let me give you these movies once again. You have To Have and Have Not with Humphrey Bogart, Walter Brennan, Lauren Bacall. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. 12 Angry Men, Henry Fonda, Lee J. Cobb, and Ed Begley. Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Prime, you have Tyler Perry's Duplicity, and you have When We Were Kings, starring Muhammad Ali and George Foreman and Joe Frazier. And that's on Netflix, Pluto, and Max. And for Tyler Perry's Duplicity, that's on Prime. That's starring Kat Graham, Megan Tandy, and Tyler Lemke. Okay? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp is going to be around with me for the latest developments on the world of sports update. And meet me back here at that time. And we'll have a lot of fun together. And you can also meet me back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more Talk Back Live. The Coffee Hour tomorrow morning, Talk Back Live next Thursday. And we'll look forward to seeing you. Brian Kemp will be with me, and sports, and a whole lot of fun. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allan. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.